Well, our area has plenty of fun-filled festivals, but how would you like to travel around the Midwest enjoying other communities' cultures and celebrations? That's just what our guest today, Haylie Robinson, does for her show, Finding Festivals. Thanks for joining me today, Haylie.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So tell me, what sparked the idea for creating a show about festivals?
So when I was 17, I actually was a festival queen and toured my state, kind of an ambassador role, and that's when it kind of hit me that I could be the next Samantha Brown, but in the world of festivals. And it took me about 12 years to finally do anything about it, but here I am. I have a season already under our belt, and we're checking out some of the festivals in the area.
Yeah. So each episode, what are you hoping your viewers learn?
Whatever the festival is really about. I mean, what's so fun about this show is the only commonality between episodes is the fact that it's an annual event. Because one episode we're off-roading in a Jeep, the next episode we're talking about horticulture in the cherry industry world, and you know, we've had episodes where we're talking about the Native American culture at the Saginaw Chippewa annual powwow. So it's really just, we want to learn about the culture and the tradition behind the specific event and just understand the why beyond the what and when.
So you just, the first season is completed, correct? How many episodes were you able to have for that season?
13. We went for the big 13, and the reason for that is when you have a full season like that, it makes it more attractive for other PBS stations to pick it up. So we knew that was the big magical number, and it was a lot of blood, sweat, tears, maybe some tantrums too. But we made it happen, and it's reached over 43 million households to date.
That's crazy, yeah. So what made you decide, yeah, we think we want to go ahead and do a second season?
You know, it was a young fan actually reached out from Indiana, and they said that they wanted to see more of their home state, and I thought, you know, maybe there is more to the show than even I originally perceived, and lo and behold, Indiana has a lot of cool events, and that's when I was like, you know what, I think we can pull off one more season. Let's do it.
Yeah. So how do you decide which festivals to go to and make episodes about?
So we actually try to theme each season. Season 1 was really about capturing the renaissance of festivals because we had seen 2 years without it. And I really wanted to kind of document what the renaissance of them coming back looked like, and also just establish the diversity of festivals. Season 2, we're actually leaning into the America 250 celebration, and we are exploring Americana through beloved community traditions. So we're really kind of diving into the history. So that's really what drove the overall curation of this season. I'm really excited. You know, right now we're in town for the Rendezvous, and it's going to kick off season 2. We're going to establish, you know, what America 250 is all about, which is the Revolutionary War that started this country. And then from there, we're going to kind of go through and interweave through America's history from different events. One event that we're looking at is the Edgar Allan Poe Festival in Baltimore, Maryland, to really talk about the literature impact that American culture has had, specifically through Edgar Allan Poe's works, and also selfishly, I'm a huge fan of Suzanne Collins, and his works does make an appearance in her recent novel of The Hunger Games. So I selfishly just want a reason to talk about it. And then there's a festival in Missouri we're looking at for the Route 66 Festival, because, you know, what better vacation than Route 66? That's what everyone kind of aspires to do eventually in their lifetime. And really, again, we just want to learn about American culture and truly just the essence of Americana through what these local communities celebrate every year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you're here in Vincennes, and you're going to do a whole episode on the Rendezvous. How did you hear about the Spirit of Vincennes Rendezvous celebration?
Okay, I'm going to say this. I have spent almost 6 months looking for an event like this. Since last July is when I started kind of thinking about coming back, and I knew that I wanted to do America 250, kind of tie it in somehow. But I could not find any Revolutionary War kind of tie-ins until I went to the media marketplace that the state of Indiana puts on. I think it was back in February, March, and I met with Knox County Representative Janice, and she told me about this event, and I'm like, I have been looking for this since like last July. Where have you been? And she's like, I've been here. And I was just over the moon about this festival, because at that point I was kind of trying to figure out, should we come back? I'm just really having a hard time finding events that will fit. But once I found this event, that's when everything else just kind of fell in place. And I'm like, all right, I figured out the thread we're going to use to explore Americana.
Right. I mean, we're happy to be your capstone episode. How many hours go into making just one episode?
Oh, well, it depends. Because the one thing about this show that I think even other travel shows don't run into is that we are in the midst of the chaos of the festival. So it's very much like a run and gun kind of show in the sense that you have one chance to capture things. So I really look for a team that can handle almost like wedding videography. You get one chance. So as far as production, post-production, marketing, and then of course the research that happens prior, I would say anywhere between probably 100 to 200 hours minimum. And again, that kind of just depends how much research we do have to do, how much help we get, and whether or not there's rain that kind of puts us behind. Although luckily we've been really fortunate that even if there is rain, we just kind of, that's part of festivals.
Right,
you know?
Especially in the Midwest, right?
Yes.
They just keep going.
If it rains, you deal with it, which we've been fortunate. We haven't had to run into too many rain issues so far. Hopefully that keeps going. But yeah, and then editing, I actually edit the show myself.
Oh, wow.
And so season 1, I was working a full-time corporate job on top of researching every episode, writing every episode, directing episodes, editing every single episode, and then now I'm kind of managing the marketing and then back into the pre-production mode of researching what the season looks like. So it truly is a labor of love, but I really care about these communities and sharing their stories, and I'm so fortunate that, you know, PBS gives me an audience that social media just doesn't offer me at the moment.
Right. I mean, that's the heart of it, right? It's being local, and you get to go and experience different locals, you know? So this is gonna be on season 2. When is that going to premiere? When can people watch the episode about the rendezvous?
So our goal is to have season 2 out by fall 2026, and that is assuming funding comes through as we are hoping. But of course, these shows are made by corporate sponsors and viewers like you. You're what helps make shows like mine happen. So of course, any support we can get, we greatly appreciate, and it will help us get the show out faster.
What is your favorite part of making a show? You said you do the pre-work, you do the post-work, you're there in the festival. What's your favorite part?
Just talking to the people. And really, my interviews, I've warned everyone that we're interviewing that I sometimes go rogue and it goes like 40 minutes long because I genuinely care about other people's passions, and I'm just there to help them be the expert and just share their passions. That's what fuels me and keeps me going, because when I hear how someone else cares about their community, it just ignites that spark in me that like this story has to come out and people need to hear this. And furthermore, if nothing else, I hope viewers just get inspired to get more involved in their own community.
Right. So you said this whole season 2 is kind of going to be about, Americana and the history of that. How many episodes are you hoping to have in season 2?
So this season we're going to go for 8 because funding's really kind of determining that. But luckily, since we already have 13, that will still give PBS stations about half a year of programming. So we'll still be filling your televisions.
Yeah, right. Making local content, like you said. What was the most fun episode to make in all of season 1?
Oh, that's like picking my favorite kid, because so much goes into each episode.
Right.
And they're so diverse. I mean, for me, kind of a dream come true festival for me was the Dublin Irish Festival, because I love Celtic culture. I grew up with Michael Flatley, so being there and seeing the Irish step and being in green, Haylie Story green of all things, was my favorite. But then also, I really was impacted by the Cleveland Diagaraja. And I went in not really knowing what to expect, and I came out of it. It was really a turning point for us, because at that point I completely ran out of funding. I had no idea if season 1 would ever see the light of day. And it was talking to the people, and one of the festival organizers said, "The Cleveland media doesn't come, but you came from Toledo." And that was the moment I'm like, this has to make the national market. Mm-hmm. These people, their story, their culture matters, and I have to make this happen. So it's just and there's stories like that in every single episode. So to a dream one, I think just being able to do this and do the thing I've dreamt of doing since I was 17 is all I could ever ask for.
Yeah, well, we hope that you find all of the wonder in Vincennes that all of the locals see here, and we cannot wait to see Vincennes and the Rendezvous celebration through your point of view, and we're excited for all of America to get to see our celebration on your show. So thank you so much today for joining me, Haylie. You can watch the entire first season of Finding Festivals on PBS.org.